Hello. I don't know if anybody's in here, but that's all right. Welcome YouTube. Welcome Twitch. All the friends. 3 viewers. Whoa! That's great. I'm glad that you're here. Whomever you be. Hope everybody's night is going well. Hope everybody is ready to get into the Word again. And we are halfway through Genesis, which is great. Or I think actually more than halfway through. I thought that we were at 25, but I'm pretty sure we read 25 last week. So we're on Genesis chapter 26, which is great. So, cool beans and some cool things on the screen. Yeah, since last time that Swerdsmith Swednesday, we have 61 followers. That's amazing. That's amazing. A lot of people rushed in. Yeah, just crazy timing. A bunch of people following. And we have 14 subs, which is great. Yeah, if nobody's subs or following is free. You just you don't have to do anything. You just click the follow button. If anybody's interested, consider following. Cool. You get to be a part of this awesome red bar, this cool community of friends and fam and everybody in between. And if you really want to support the channel, subscribe if you want to. Also, if you have Twitch, if you have Amazon Prime, you get a free Twitch subscription. If you don't know how to do that, hit me up on Instagram, whatever. We'll work it out. So, anyway, without further ado, I guess we're going to start with prayer. Get the Bible reading started off right, and then we'll get into the reading. I'm glad my microphone's on, because this would be the time in previous streams where I would just be talking and none of it was recorded because I didn't toggle on the little microphone button. So praise the Lord. We're learning slowly but surely. How about that? Cool. So I'm going to pray and then we will get going. Okay, get in your prayer stance. Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this beautiful night. Just thank you so much for the cooler weather. And we have the air conditioning is in the shed and the windows are open. This time of year is just amazing, and just your beauty is still just overflowing just everywhere. Lord, just be in the midst of this Bible reading. Lord, just give us the wisdom that you need us to pull from the scripture. It's just amazing going through the Old Testament, Lord, and you can just see remnants of Jesus just scattered throughout the Bible, little Easter eggs, Lord, and we just thank you so much that you've given us this mighty tool that we can go through life and use and just take wisdom from, and it is just an amazing gift, Lord. So anyway, thank you, Lord. Just be in the midst of our conversation and thoughts and words and reading. Lord, we just attribute all of the blessings you give us. Just thank you. We just attribute them all back to you. In Jesus' name, amen. Cool beans. Well, I guess we just start. I don't have any reason to not start. Cool. Cool. Oh, clicking on everything. Oh, you can't see anything. Let's switch to boom. Actually, we'll keep the follower goal on here. How about that? Just because I like it. It's cool. Awesome. So we're going to go to Genesis chapter 26. I don't know how much we're going to read. I have been struggling today. I might go get some water. And I have these really cool glasses. 20/20 vision, but it's late, and these computers, you need to protect your eyes. If anybody's out there looking at a screen, you should wear some blue light, blue blockers, whatever they are. Wear them. Protect your eyes. Cool. So we have Genesis chapter 26, and just reiterating what we talked about last week too, just so I'm not getting bogged down. If people do have questions, feel free, get on the chat, get some questions going. I'm going to read an entire chapter, and then we'll go back in if we have any questions, things to discuss, and go from there, just so we're not breaking up the word. Because yeah, I think it's important to read it in its entirety, at least in the chapters. Yeah, we'll go there. So cool. Without further ado, let's begin. So you have Genesis chapter 26. Now there was a famine in the land, besides the former famine that was in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went to Gerar to Abimelech, king of the Philistines. And the Lord appeared to him and said, Do not go down to Egypt. Dwell in the land of which I shall tell you. Sojourn in this land, and I will be with you and will bless you. For to you and to your offspring I will give all these lands, and I will establish the oath that I swore to Abraham your father. I will multiply your offspring as the stars of heaven, and will give to your offspring all these lands. And in your offspring all the nations of the earth shall be blessed, because Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws. So Isaac settled in Gerar. When the men of the place asked him about his wife, he said, She is my sister. For he feared to say my wife, thinking lest the men of the place should kill me because of Rebekah, because she was attractive in appearance. When he had been there a long time, Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looked out of the window and saw Isaac laughing with Rebekah his wife. So Abimelech called Isaac and said, Behold, she is your wife. How then could you say she is my sister? Isaac said to him, Because I thought lest I die because of her. Abimelech said, What is this you have done to us? One of the people might easily have lain with your wife, and you would have brought guilt upon us. So Abimelech warned all the people, saying, Whoever touches this man or his wife shall surely be put to death. And Isaac sowed in that land, and reaped in the same year 100-fold. The Lord blessed him, and the man became rich, and gained more and more until he became very wealthy. He had possessions of flocks and herds and many servants, so that the Philistines envied him. Now the Philistines had stopped and filled with earth all the wells that his father's servants had dug in the days of Abraham his father. And Abimelech said to Isaac, Go away from us, for you are much mightier than we. So Isaac departed from there and encamped in the valley of Gerar and settled there. And Isaac dug again the wells of water that had been dug in the days of Abraham his father, which the Philistines had stopped after the death of Abraham. And he gave them the names that his father had given them. But when Isaac's servants dug in the valley and found there a well of spring water, the herdsmen of Gerar quarreled with Isaac's herdsmen, saying, The water is ours. So he called the name of the well Esek, because they contended with him. Then they dug another well, and they quarreled over that also. So he called its name Sitnah. And he moved from there and dug another well, and they did not quarrel over it. So he called its name Rehoboth, saying, For now the Lord has made room for us, and we shall be fruitful in the land. From there he went up to Beersheba, and the Lord appeared to him the same night and said, I am the God of Abraham your father. Fear not, for I am with you, and will bless you and multiply your offspring for my servant Abraham's sake. So he built an altar there, and called upon the name of the Lord, and pitched his tent there, and there Isaac's servants dug a well. When Abimelech went to him from Gerar with Ahuzath his advisor, and Phicol the commander of his army, Isaac said to them, Why have you come to me, seeing that you hate me, and you have sent me away from you? They said, We see plainly that the Lord has been with you. So we said, Let there be a sworn pact between us, between you and us, and let us make a covenant with you, that you will do us no harm, just as we have not touched you, and have done to you nothing but good, and have sent you away in peace. You are now the blessed of the Lord, the blessed of the Lord. So he made them a feast, and they ate and drank. In the morning they rose early and exchanged oaths, and Isaac sent them on their way, and they departed from him in peace. That same day Isaac's servants came and told him about the well that they had dug, and said to him, We have found water. He called it Sheba. Therefore the name of the city is Beersheba to this day. When Esau was 40 years old, he took Judith the daughter of Beeri the Hittite to be his wife, and Basemath, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, and they made life bitter for Isaac and Rebekah. Almost like basement, but not. For some reason, I thought we may have read this as well. Doesn't matter. Look at that. We get some post-Abraham lore with Isaac. Abimelech, what a great name. Yeah, what a turkey thing to do. Just angry, can't do anything to Isaac, but we're going to fill all the wells that your father dug. We're just going to fill them back in with dirt. What a stinky thing. What a stinky thing to do. Amazing. Okay. Genesis chapter 27. When Isaac was old and his eyes were dim so that he could not see, he called Esau his older son and said to him, "My son." And he answered, "Here I am." He said, "Behold, I am old. I do not know the day of my death. Now then, take your weapons, your quiver and your bow, and go out to the field and hunt game for me, and prepare for me delicious food, such as I love, and bring it to me so that I may eat, that my soul may bless you before I die." Now Rebekah was listening when Isaac spoke to his son Esau. So when Esau went to the field to hunt for game and bring it, Rebekah said to her son Jacob, "I heard your father speak to your brother Esau. Bring me game and prepare for me delicious food, that I may eat it and bless you before the Lord before I die. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice as I command you. Go to the flock and bring me 2 good young goats, so that I may prepare from them delicious food for your father, such as he loves. And you shall bring it to your father to eat, so that he may bless you before he dies." But Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, "Behold, my brother Esau is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. Perhaps my father will feel me, and I shall seem to be mocking him, and bring a curse upon myself and not a blessing." His mother said to him, "Let your curse be on me, my son. Only obey my voice, and go, bring them to me." So he went and took them and brought them to his mother, and his mother prepared delicious food, such as his father loved. Then Rebekah took the best garments of Esau, her older son, which were with her in the house, and put them on Jacob, her younger son. And the skins of the young goats she put on his hands and on the smooth part of his neck. And she put the delicious food and the bread which she had prepared into the hand of her son Jacob. So he went in to his father and said, "My father." And he said, "Here I am. Who are you, my son?" Jacob said to his father, "I am Esau, your firstborn. I have done as you told me. Now sit up and eat of my game, that your soul may bless me." But Isaac said to his son, "How is it that you have found it so quickly, my son?" He answered, "Because the Lord your God granted me success." Then Isaac said to Jacob, "Please come near, that I may feel you, my son, to know whether you are really my son Esau or not." So Jacob went near to Isaac his father, who felt him and said, "The voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau." And he did not recognize him, because his hands were hairy like his brother Esau's hands. So he blessed him. He said, "Are you really my son Esau?" He said, "I am." Then he said, "Bring it near to me, that I may eat of my son's game and bless you." We brought it near to him, and he ate, and he brought him wine, and he drank. Then his father Isaac said to him, "Come near and kiss me, my son." So he came near and kissed him. And Esau smelled the smell of his garments and blessed him and said, and Isaac smelled the smell of his garments and blessed him and said, "See, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field that the Lord has blessed. May God give you the dew of heaven and of the fatness of the earth, and plenty of grain and wine. Let peoples serve you, and nations bow down to you. Be Lord over your brothers, and may your mother's sons bow down to you. Cursed be everyone who curses you, and blessed be everyone who blesses you." As soon as Isaac had finished blessing Jacob, when Jacob had scarcely gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, Esau his brother came in from his hunting. He also prepared delicious food and brought it to his father. He said to his father, "Let my father arise and eat of his son's game, that you may bless me." His father Isaac said to him, "Who are you?" He answered, "I am your son, your firstborn, Esau." Then Isaac trembled very violently and said, "Who was it then that hunted game and brought it to me, and I ate it all before you came, and I have blessed him? Yes, and he shall be blessed." As soon as Esau heard the words of his father, he cried out with an exceedingly great and bitter cry, and said to his father, "Bless me, even me also, O my father." But he said, "Your brother came deceitfully, and he has taken away your blessing." Esau said, "Is he not rightly named Jacob? For he has cheated me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he has taken away my blessing." Then he said, "Have you not reserved a blessing for me?" Isaac answered and said to Esau, "Behold, I have made him lord over you, and all his brothers I have given to him for servants, and with grain and wine I have sustained him. What then can I do for you, my son?" Esau said to his father, "Have you but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father." And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Then Isaac his father answered and said to him, "Behold, away from the fatness of the earth shall your dwelling be, and away from the dew of heaven on high. By your sword you shall live, and you shall serve your brother, and when you grow restless, you shall break his yoke from your neck." Now Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing with which his father had blessed him, and Esau said to himself, "The days of mourning for my father are approaching, then I will kill my brother Jacob." But the words of Esau, her older son, were told to Rebekah. So she sent and called Jacob the younger son, and said to him, "Behold, your brother Esau comforts himself about you by planning to kill you. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice. Arise, flee to Laban, my brother in Haran, and stay with him a while until your brother's fury turns away, until your brother's anger turns away from you, and he forgets what you have done to him. Then I will send and bring you here. I will bring you from there. Why should I be bereft of you both in one day?" Then Rebekah said to Isaac, "I loathe my life because of the Hittite woman. If Jacob marries one of the Hittite women like these, one of the women of the land, what good my life be to me?" This is another just interesting thing about the power of words and the power of promises, right? Where it's almost like, when you're doing a covenant, right? It's very final. Like, even though Jacob was being sneaky and deceitful, it's like, well, if I've already given you my blessing, like what I've said is already done is going to come to pass. There's no takebacks. That's, "Oh, you deceived me. Oh, never mind. I take it back. I give it to Esau." It's like, no, there's so much power with doing, giving promises. Something, this day and age that we've kind of gotten away from, which is, well, it's even just like the basic, like, just let your yeses be yes and your no's be no. It's like words have so much power, and I think nowadays we're either using words for evil for the wrong reasons, or we're just very flippant with how we treat things. Cool. Let's go to 28. Then Isaac called Jacob and blessed him and directed him, "You must not take a wife from the Canaanite women. Arise, go to Padam Aram, to the house of Bethuel, your mother's father, and take as your wife from there one of the daughters of Laban, your mother's brother. God Almighty bless you and make you fruitful and multiply you, that you may become a company of peoples. May he give the blessing of Abraham to you and to your offspring with you, that you may take possession of the land of your sojournings that God gave to Abraham." Thus Isaac sent Jacob away, and he went to Padan Aram, to Laban, the son of Bethuel the Aramean, the brother of Rebekah, Jacob and Esau's mother. Now Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob and sent him away to Padan Aram to take a wife from there, and that as he blessed him, he directed him, "You must not take a wife from the Canaanite women." And that Jacob had obeyed his father and his mother and gone to Padan Aram. So when Esau saw that the Canaanite women did not please Isaac his father, Esau went to Ishmael and took as his wife, besides the wives he had, Mahalath, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son, the sister of Nebaioth. Jacob left Beersheba and went to Haran, and he came to a certain place and stayed there that night, because the sun had set. Taking one of the stones of the place, he put it under his head and laid down in that place to sleep. And he dreamed, and behold, there was a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of God were ascending and descending on it. And behold, the Lord stood above it and said, "I am the Lord, the God of Abraham your father, and the God of Isaac. The land on which you lie I will give to you and to your offspring. Your offspring shall be like the dust of the earth, and you shall spread abroad to the west and to the east and to the north and to the south. And in you and your offspring shall all the families of the earth be blessed. Behold, I am with you, and will keep you wherever you go, and will bring you back to this land. For I will not leave you until I have done what I have promised you. Then Jacob awoke from his sleep and said, "Surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it." And he was afraid and said, "How awesome is this place! This is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven." So early in the morning Jacob took the stone that he had put under his head and set it up for a pillar and poured oil on the top of it. He called the name of the place Bethel, and the name of the city was Luz at that time. Then Jacob made a vow, saying, "If God will be with me and will keep me in this way that I go, and will give me bread to eat and clothing to wear, so that I come again to my father's house in peace, then the Lord shall be my God. And this stone which I have set up for a pillar shall be God's house, and of all that you give me I will give a full tenth to you." Look at that. Classic tithing right there. Number 29. Then Jacob went on his journey and came to the land of the people of the east. As he looked, he saw a well in the field, and behold, 3 flocks of sheep lying beside it. For out of that well the flocks were watered. The stone on the well's mouth was large, and when all the flocks were gathered there, the shepherds would roll the stone from the mouth of the well and water the sheep, and put the stone back in its place over the mouth of the well. Jacob said to them, "My brothers, where do you come from?" They said, we are from Haran. And he said to them, "Do you know Laban the son of Nahor?" They said, "We know him." He said to them, "Is it well with him?" They said, "It is well. And see, Rachel his daughter is coming with the sheep." And behold, he said, "Behold, it is still high day. It is not time for the livestock to be gathered together. Water the sheep and go, pasture them." But they said, "We cannot until all the flocks are gathered together and the stone is rolled from the mouth of the well. Then we water the sheep." While he was still speaking with them, Rachel came with her father's sheep, for she was a shepherdess. Now as soon as Jacob saw Rachel the daughter of Laban his mother's brother, and the sheep of Laban his mother's brother, Jacob came near and rolled the stone from the well's mouth and watered the flock of Laban his mother's brother. Then Jacob kissed Rachel and wept aloud. And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's kinsman, and that he was Rebekah's son, and she ran and told her father. Is it Laban? Laban? As soon as Laban heard the news about Jacob, his sister's son, he ran to meet him and embraced him and kissed him and brought him to his house. Jacob told Laban all these things, and Laban said to him, "Surely you are my bone and my flesh." And he stayed with him a month. Then Laban said to Jacob, "Because you are my kinsman, should you therefore serve me for nothing? Tell me, what shall your wages be?" Now Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the older was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. Leah's eyes were weak, but Rachel was beautiful in form and appearance. Jacob loved Rachel, and he said, "I will serve you 7 years for your younger daughter Rachel." Laban said, "It is better that I give her to you than that I should give her to any other man. Stay with me." So Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed to him but a few days because of the love he had for her. Then Jacob said to Laban, "Give me my wife that I may go into her, for my time is completed." So Laban gathered together all the people of the place and made a feast. But in the evening he took his daughter Leah and brought her to Jacob, and he went into her. Laban gave his female servant Zilpah to his daughter Leah to be her servant. And in the morning, behold, it was Leah. And Jacob said to Laban, "What is this you have done to me? Did I not serve with you for Rachel? Why then have you deceived me?" Laban said, "It is not so done in our country to give the younger before the firstborn. Complete the week of this one, and we will give you the other also in return for serving me another 7 years." Jacob did so and completed her week. Then Laban gave him his daughter Rachel to be his wife. Laban gave his female servant Bilhah to his daughter Rachel to be her servant. So Jacob went into Rachel also, and he loved Rachel more than Leah, and served Laban for another 7 years. We get that he loved Rachel more than Leah. Again, these just some deceit. Oh, we still got another thing. 1 second. When the Lord saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. And Leah conceived and bore a son, and she called his name Reuben, for she said, "Because the Lord has looked upon my affliction, for now my husband will love me." She conceived again and bore a son, and said, "Because the Lord has heard that I am hated, he has given me this son also." And she called his name Simeon. Again she conceived and bore a son, and said, now this time my husband will be attached to me, because I have borne him 3 sons. Therefore his name was called Levi. And she conceived again and bore a son, and said, this time I will praise the Lord. Therefore she called his name Judah. Then she ceased bearing. There's a lot of cultural stuff I do not understand, and that's okay to admit that. That's where it takes it'd be really cool to do a deep dive into just all of the context of just the culture of that time, because obviously this is way different, than how we could even imagine just in America. It's just wild. So maybe we'll do that. We'll read through. Maybe we'll go back through the second time and just do some deep dive. Or if everybody has any questions, I'm always okay to just stop and then look into something too. Well, with that, we'll carry on. Genesis 30. When Rachel saw that she bore Jacob no children, she envied her sister. She said to Jacob, give me children or I shall die. Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel, and he said, am I in the place of God, who has withheld from you the fruit of the womb? Then she said, here's my servant Bilhah. Go into her, so that she may give birth on my behalf, that even I may bear children through her. So she gave him her servant Bilhah as a wife, and Jacob went into her. And Bilhah conceived and bore Jacob a son. Then Rachel said, God has judged me, and has also heard my voice and given me a son. Therefore she called his name Dan. Rachel's servant Bilhah conceived again and bore Jacob a second son. Then Rachel said, with mighty wrestlings I have wrestled with my sister and have prevailed. So she called his name Naphtali. When Leah saw that she had ceased bearing children, she took her servant Zilpah and gave her to Jacob as a wife. Then Leah's servant Zilpah bore Jacob a son, and Leah said, good fortune has come. So she called his name Gad. Leah's servant Zilpah bore Jacob a second son, and Leah said, happy am I, for women have called me happy. So she called his name Asher. In the days of wheat harvest, Reuben went and found mandrakes in the field and brought them to his mother Leah. And Rachel said to Leah, please give me some of your son's mandrakes. But she said to her, is it a small matter that you have taken away my husband? Would you take away my son's mandrakes also? Rachel said, then he may lie with you tonight in exchange for your son's mandrakes. When Jacob came from the field in the evening, Leah went out to meet him and said, you must come in to me, for I have hired you with my son's mandrakes. So he lay with her that night, and God listened to Leah, and she conceived and bore Jacob a 5th son. Leah said, God has given me my wages, because I gave my servant to my husband. So she called his name Issachar. And Leah conceived again, and she bore Jacob a 6th son. And Leah said, God has endowed me with a good endowment. Now my husband will honor me, because I have borne him 6 sons. So she called his name Zebulun. Afterward she bore a daughter, and called her name Dinah. Then God remembered Rachel, and God listened to her and opened her womb. She conceived and bore a son, and said, God has taken away my reproach. And she called his name Joseph, saying, may the Lord add to me another son. As soon as Rachel had borne Joseph, Jacob said to Laban, send me away that I may go to my own home and country. Give me my wives and my children for whom I have served you, that I may go, for you know the service that I have given you. But Laban said to him, if I have found favor in your sight, I have learned by divination that the Lord has blessed me because of you. Name your wages, and I will give it. Jacob said to him, you yourself know how I have served you, and how your livestock have fared with me. For you had little before I came, and it has increased abundantly. And the Lord has blessed you wherever I turned. But now when shall I provide for my own household also? He said, what shall I give you? Jacob said, you shall not give me anything. If you will do this for me, I will again pasture your flock and keep it. Let me pass through all of your flock today, removing from it every speckled and spotted sheep and every black lamb, and the spotted and speckled among the goats, and they shall be my wages. So my honesty will answer for me later, when you come to look into my wages with you. Every one that is not speckled and spotted among the goats and black among the sheep, or among the lambs, if found with me, shall be counted stolen. Laban said, good, let it be as you have said. But that day Laban removed the male goats that were striped and spotted, and all the female goats that were speckled and spotted, every one that had white on it, and every lamb that was black, and put them in the charge of his sons. And he set a distance of 3 days' journey between himself and Jacob pastured the rest of Laban's flock. Then Jacob took fresh sticks of poplar and almond and plane trees, and peeled white streaks in them, exposing the white of the sticks. He set the sticks that he had peeled in front of the flocks in the troughs, that is, the watering places, where the flocks came to drink. And since they bred when they came to drink, the flocks bred in front of the sticks, so that the flocks brought forth striped, speckled, and spotted. And Jacob separated the lambs, and set the faces of the flocks towards the striped and all the black in the flock of Laban. He put his own droves apart, and did not put them with Laban's flock. Whenever the stronger of the flock were breeding, Jacob would lay the sticks in the troughs before the eyes of the flock, that they might breed among the sticks. But for the feebler of the flock he would not lay them there, for the feebler would be Laban's, and the stronger Jacob's. Thus the man increased greatly, and had large flocks, female servants and male servants, and camels and donkeys. It's so funny, the timeline of these, where it's like, they just bore children. Yep, they bore another one, and a daughter. You know, it's like, obviously the normal timeline of gestation would still apply. So it's like, even though he worked there for 7 years, it's like years are still passing for all these children to be born. And then, you know, even this, where he's tending to the sheep and the goats, and then they're having, you know, obviously gestation is a little bit different, but it's just funny how, like, the timeline makes it seem like this is just a very quick thing, but it is drawn out years even. Absolutely. This Laban guy, I don't know. It's the deceit, man. There's a lot of human stuff going on. Chapter 31. Now Jacob heard that his sons of Laban were saying, Jacob has taken all that was our father's, and from what was our father's he has gained all this wealth. And Jacob saw that Laban did not regard him with favor as before. Then the Lord said to Jacob, return to the land of your fathers and to your kindred, and I will be with you. So Jacob sent and called Rachel and Leah into the field where the flock was, and said to them, I see that your father does not regard me with favor as he did before, but the God of my father has been with me. You know that I have served your father with all my strength, yet your father has cheated me and changed my wages 10 times. But God did not permit him to harm me. If he said, the spotted shall be your wages, then all the flock bore spotted. If he said, the striped shall be your wages, then all the flock bore striped. Thus God has taken away the livestock of your father and given them to me. In the breeding season of the flock I lifted up my eyes and saw in a dream that the goats that mated with the flock were striped, spotted, and mottled. Then the angel of God said to me in the dream, Jacob. And I said, Here I am. And he said, Lift up your eyes and see, all the goats that mate with the flock are striped, spotted, and mottled, for I have seen all that Laban is doing to you. I am the God of Bethel, where you anointed a pillar and made a vow to me. Now arise, go out from this land and return to the land of your kindred. Then Rachel and Leah answered and said to him, Is there any portion or inheritance left to us in our father's house? Are we not regarded by him as foreigners? For he has sold us, and he has indeed devoured our money. All the wealth that God has taken away from our father belongs to us and to our children. Now then, whatever God has said to you, do. So Jacob arose and set his sons and his wives on camels. Oh, here we go. He drove away all his livestock, all his property that he had gained, the livestock in his possession that he had acquired in Paddan Aram, to go to the land of Canaan to his father Isaac. Laban had gone to shear his sheep, and Rachel stole her father's household gods. And Jacob tricked Laban the Aramean by not telling him that he intended to flee. He fled with all that he had, and arose and crossed the Euphrates, and set his face toward the hill country of Gilead. When it was told Laban on the 3rd day that Jacob had fled, he took his kinsmen with him and pursued him for 7 days, and followed close after him into the hill country of Gilead. But God came to Laban the Aramean in a dream by night, and said to him, Be careful not to say anything to Jacob, either good or bad. And Laban overtook Jacob. Now Jacob had pitched his tent in the hill country, and Laban with his kinsmen pitched tents in the hill country of Gilead. And Laban said to Jacob, "What have you done, that you have tricked me and driven away my daughters like captives of the sword? Why did you flee secretly and trick me, and did not tell me, so that I might have sent you away with mirth and songs, with tambourine and lyre? And why did you not permit me to kiss my sons and my daughters farewell? Now you have done foolishly. It is in my power to do you harm. But the God of your father spoke to me last night, saying, Be careful not to say anything to Jacob, either good or bad. And now you have gone away because you longed greatly for your father's house. But why did you steal my gods?" Jacob answered and said to Laban, "Because I was afraid, for I thought that you would take your daughters from me by force. Anyone with whom you find your gods shall not live. In the presence of our kinsmen, point out what I have that is yours, and take it." Now Jacob did not know that Rachel had stolen them. So Laban went into Jacob's tent and into Leah's tent and into the tent of the 2 female servants, but he did not find them. And he went out of Leah's tent and entered Rachel's. Now Rachel had taken the household gods and put them in a camel's satchel and sat on them. Laban felt all about the tent, but did not find them. And she said to her father, "Let not my lord be angry that I cannot rise before you, for the way of the woman is upon me." So he searched, but did not find the household gods. Then Jacob became angry and berated Laban. Jacob said to Laban, "What is my offense? What is my sin that you have hotly pursued me? For you have felt through all my goods. What have you found of all your household goods? Set it here before my kinsmen and your kinsmen, that they may decide between us two. These 20 years I have been with you. Your ewes and your female goats have not miscarried, and I have not eaten the rams of your flocks. What was torn by wild beasts I did not bring to you. I bore the loss of it myself. From my hand you required it, whether stolen by day or stolen by night. There I was. By day the heat consumed me, and by the cold by night, and my sheep fled from my eyes. These 20 years I have been in your home. I served you 14 years for your 2 daughters, and 6 years for your flock, and you have changed my wages 10 times. If the God of my father, the God of Abraham, and the fear of Isaac had not been on my side, surely now would you have sent me away empty-handed. God saw my affliction and the labor of my hands, and rebuked you last night." Then Laban answered and said to Jacob, "The daughters are my daughters, the children are my children, the flocks are my flocks, and all that you see is mine. But what can I do this day for these my daughters, or for their children whom they have borne? Come now, let us make a covenant, you and I, and let it be a witness between you and me." So Jacob took a stone and set it up as a pillar, and Jacob said to his kinsmen, "Gather stones." And they took stones and made a heap, and they ate there by the heap. Laban called it Jager Sahadutha, but Jacob called it Gilead. Laban said, "This heap is a witness before you and me today." Therefore he named it Gilead and Mizpah, for he said, "The Lord watch between you and me, and when we are out of one another's sight. If you oppress my daughters, or if you take wives besides my daughters, although no one is with us, see, God is witness between you and me." Then Laban said to Jacob, "See this heap and the pillar, which I have set between you and me. This heap is a witness, and the pillar is a witness, that I will not pass over this heap to you, and you will not pass over this heap and this pillar to me to do harm. The God of Abraham and the God of Nahor and the God of their father judge between us." So Jacob swore by the fear of his father Isaac, and Jacob offered a sacrifice in the hill country and called his kinsmen to eat bread. They ate bread and spent the night in the hill country. Early in the morning Laban arose and kissed his grandchildren and his granddaughters and blessed them. Then Laban departed and returned home. I'm going to run 3 viewers, look at you guys. I'm going to run a quick ad just to get it out of the way, because then it pushes the time that an ad's going to run. Maybe we'll do one more chapter. We'll see, because in about 17 minutes it's going to go. So cool beans. Let's see. Chapter 32. Oh, there was something I was gonna say. The last chapter as well. What was it? It was. Oh, I want to do a. Oh, I think I ruined my camera. There it goes. It was like zoomed in on me on accident. That's funny. I didn't know how long it was that way. I think it would be a cool study to do because everybody gets hung up on lying. Because you're not supposed to lie, right? You're supposed to be genuine, not to be deceitful. But then there's times in the Bible that people claim is contradictory, where even there's a bunch of different times for protection of like hiding people from evildoers or whatever, and like blatantly just saying no, they're not here, and it's like technically you're not being truthful, but it's still what God commanded them to do, but it was for protection. It's like, yeah, I have this theory, well, and I want to do it through a biblical filter as well, of like, there's a difference telling the truth versus not telling the truth, whether you're intentionally being deceitful or for the sake of protecting somebody. It's kind of like the idea of not letting people know what Christmas presents you got for them. Well, you know what you got them. Like, oh, I didn't get you anything. It's like you're not being it to be deceitful. You're doing it out of their protection because you want them to feel the joy of opening the present. It's like, well, I can't lie. Yep, I got you this Nintendo Switch. It's like, okay, well, you just spoiled it. It's just kind of one of those weird ones. But I think that would be cool to do, like especially in the Old Testament, like the those times where people say that they are lying, but they're not. People get hung up on that. Also, something I just realized, that's why you don't buy anybody presents, I know. I just realized that there's a button right here that tethers my texts or tethers my chats so I can see them. And it has not been on this entire time. Because Voxel's here and Doc Joe Brown is here, and I just thought everybody was not talking at all. So, my bad. So I guess there was a technical difficulty. It's all right. Oh, Voxel, yes. There was a Gilead earlier, and then there's a Gilead. Yep. There's two of them. I got that too. There's a lot of these. The names that are so close to being the same, but they're not. Classic. Well, we're going to go through Numbers relatively soon. I'm not looking forward to some of those that just have just solid names, but it's still important, so we'll still go through them. Okay, chat is working successfully, so anyway, let's see here. We are on chapter Laban. See, look at that. Laban and Jacob still got to be friends again. Look at that. Fun fact for all of those who don't know, my name is a biblical name. My name is Caleb. Only Calebs know this fact. If somebody doesn't really know you very well, they will call you Jacob. Calebs get confused for Jacobs all the time. It is any Caleb who knows that, please let me know if that's true, if you've ever been confused for Jacob. I've had so many people call me Jacob, and it's like that's not even close. But maybe it's because it ends with a B, and it's kind of like a 2-syllable Caleb, Jacob. They're both biblical. I think people just get their wires crossed, but I've talked to other Calebs, and they can confirm this as well. So I guess, fun fact. There you go. If you're not a Caleb, you would never know that. Bible name crew. Somebody needs to name their kid Melchizedek. I think maybe I'll do it. We'll see. We'll see if that's in the cards. It's a super long name. Cool. Let us begin. See, Melchizedek would be a dog name, but I don't want to like diss the name, right? Because we talked about the power of words. Like, is that okay to do? Yes, yeah. Name your dog Esau because he's a hairy dog. You got a hairy boy. Okay, speaking of Esau, he's coming back in. No spoilers. Let's get into it. Chapter 32. Jacob went on his way, and the angels of God met him. And when Jacob saw them, he said, "This is God's camp." So he called the name of that place Mahanaim. I should take, real quick, just a little pause. I should take a class or look into how to pronounce these words, because I know there's some of them I'm butchering them, but I don't know like the inflections and tones and all that. So that would be really cool to do that. Do a what is it? A master class. Anyway, enough distractions. And Jacob sent messengers before him to Esau his brother in the land of Seir, the country of Edom, instructing them, "Thus you shall say to my lord Esau, thus says your servant Jacob, I have sojourned with Laban and stayed until now. I have oxen, donkeys, flocks, male servants and female servants. I have sent to tell my lord in order that I may find favor in your sight." And the messengers returned to Jacob, saying, "We came to your brother Esau, and he is coming to meet you, and there are 400 men with him." Then Jacob was greatly afraid and distressed. He divided the people who were with him and the flocks and herds and camels into 2 camps, thinking, if Esau comes to the one camp and attacks it, then the camp that is left will escape. And Jacob said, "O God of my father Abraham and God of my father Isaac, O Lord, who said to me, return to your country and to your kindred, that I may do you good. I am not worthy of the least of all the deeds of steadfast love and all the faithfulness that you have shown to your servant. For with only my staff I crossed this Jordan, and now I have become 2 camps. Please deliver me from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Esau, for I fear him, that he may come and attack me, the mothers with the children. But you said, I will surely do you good and make your offspring as the sand of the sea, which cannot be numbered for multitude." So he stayed there that night, and from what he had with him, he took a present for his brother Esau, 200 female goats and 20 male goats, 200 ewes and 20 rams, 30 milking camels and their calves, 40 cows and 10 bulls, 20 female donkeys and 10 male donkeys. These he handed over to his servants, every drove by itself. He said to his servants, "Pass on ahead of me and put a space between drove and drove." He instructed the first, "When Esau my brother meets you and asks you, 'To whom do you belong? Where are you going? And whose are those ahead of you?' Then you shall say, 'They belong to your servant Jacob. They are a present sent to my lord Esau, and moreover he is behind us.' He likewise instructed the second and the third and all who follow the droves. You shall say the same thing to Esau when you find him, and you shall say, 'Moreover your servant Jacob is behind us.' For he thought, I may appease him with the present that goes ahead of me, and afterward I shall see his face. Perhaps he will accept me." So the present passed on ahead of him, and he himself stayed the night in the camp. Jacob wrestles with God. The same night he arose and took his 2 wives, his 2 female servants, and his 11 children, and crossed the ford of the Jabbok. He took them and sent them across the stream, and everything else that he had, and Jacob was left alone. And a man wrestled with him until the breaking of the day. When the man saw that he did not prevail against Jacob, he touched his hip socket, and Jacob's hip was put out of joint as he wrestled with him. And then he said, "Let me go, for the day is broken." But Jacob said, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." And he said to him, "What is your name?" And he said, "Jacob." Then he said, "Your name shall no longer be called Jacob, but Israel, for you have striven with God and with men, and have prevailed." Then Jacob asked him, "Please tell me your name." But he said, "Why is it that you ask my name?" And there he blessed him. So Jacob called the name of the place Peniel, saying, "For I have seen God face to face, and yet my life has been delivered." The sun rose upon him as he passed Penuel, limping because of his hip. Therefore to this day the people of Israel do not eat the sinew of the thigh that is on the hip socket, because he touched the socket of Jacob's hip on the sinew of the thigh. Just interesting. That would be that'd be one again for the theater in heaven, where it's like, I just want to see what that is, of just Jacob wrestling with God. And I like it too, where you just see, and Jacob was left alone, and a man wrestled with him until the breaking of the day. That's just boy stuff, right? Just classic boy behavior. It's like, oh, it's actually me, God. Boom, your hips broken. You know, it's just good. It's just good. I did like this lesson. This is probably a lesson that I'll probably talk on in the near future, where, you know, Jacob was just so fearful of Esau, and then he had to go back and do the thing where it's like, oh wait, what did God say to me before, and kind of like remembering God's promises in the past. Because he's like, oh, he's gonna, Lord, please, like, he's gonna attack me, he's gonna attack the mothers of my children. But then he ties it back around. He's like, but you said, I will surely do you good and make your offspring as the sand of the sea, which cannot be numbered for multitude. It's like that beautiful moment where sometimes you're reaching out to God, and in the midst of that prayer, God kind of just reveals, it's like, no, I've already promised you this. Like, I've already spoken to you on this, and I've given you peace. It's like, dive into that peace again. That's great. I have some good stories about that too. And it's usually in those times of deep prayer where God's like, hey, remember I did this? But if you weren't reaching out in dismay, sometimes that doesn't, you're not reminded of that. And then that just gives you even more peace. And then you kind of feel silly and you're like, God, you are the best. So it's cool. Prayer's cool. God's cool. And even though our journey on earth is hard, God's here and he's got it. That's always good. Boom. Uh-oh. The meeting of the bros. Here they go. Bunch of wrestling. Oh, I looked ahead. I spoiled it. They reconciled. Okay, whatever. And Jacob lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, Esau was coming, and 400 men with him. So he divided the children among Leah and Rachel and the 2 female servants, and he put the servants with their children in front. Then Leah and her children, and Rachel and Joseph last of all. He himself went on before them, bowing himself to the ground 7 times until he came near his brother. But Esau ran to meet him and embraced him and fell on his neck and kissed him, and they wept. And when Esau lifted up his eyes and saw the women and children, he said, who are these with you? Jacob said, the children whom God has graciously given your servant. Then the servants drew near, they and their children, and bowed down. Leah likewise and her children drew near and bowed down. And last Joseph and Rachel drew near, and they bowed down. Esau said, what do you mean by all this company that I have met? Jacob answered, to find favor in the sight of my Lord. But Esau said, I have enough, my brother, keep what you have for yourself. Jacob said, no, please, if I have found favor in your sight, then accept my present from my hand, for I have seen your face, which is like seeing the face of God, and you have accepted me. Please accept my blessing that is brought to you, because God has dealt graciously with me, and because I have enough. Thus he urged him, and he took it. Then Esau said, let us journey on our way, and I will go ahead of you. But Jacob said to him, my Lord knows that the children are frail, and that the nursing flocks and herds are a care to me. If they are driven hard for one day, all the flocks will die. Let my Lord pass on ahead of his servant, and I will lead on slowly at the pace of the livestock that are ahead of me, and at the pace of the children, until I come to my Lord in Seir. So Esau said, let me leave with you some of the people who are with me. But he said, what need is there? Let me find favor in the sight of my Lord. So Esau returned that day on his way to Seir, but Jacob journeyed to Succoth, and built himself a house, and made booths for his livestock. Therefore the name of the place is called Succoth. I don't know if that's a good pronunciation. Then Jacob came safely to the city of Shechem, which is in the land of Canaan, on his way to Padan Aram, and he camped before the city. And from the sons of Hamor, Shechem's father, he bought for 100 pieces of money the piece of land on which he had pitched his tent. There he erected an altar, and called it El Elohe Israel. The thing that got me was the money. And he bought it for 100 pieces of money. I don't know why that got me so bad. That tripped me out. Maybe it's too late in the day. Oh, amazing. Oh, also timeline. See, this is the thing that confuses me. So, awesome chaos. Yes, wordy getting wordy. Hey, I should make some merch if we're gonna, whatever. That would be kind of fun. I appreciate you stopping by, Chaos. I hope to meet up with you soon. That'd be great. Have a great night. The time frame confuses me where it's like, oh, let me just like hang back and so I can take care of the flock, because if I push him too hard, it's a detriment to them. And then he's like, so then he goes and buys a house somewhere, like builds a house somewhere. Dude, I need to get some t-shirts. Swordsmith is such a pun on swordsmith, And the Bible is a double-edged sword. Like, there's so much cool stuff. Not even merch to sell, but just to have some stickers and stuff. That'd be dope. I'm working on it. Slowly but surely, I'll get her done. So, I agree with you. You just want to split that commish because you came up with the idea. So, I'll make it worth your while. We'll get in touch. Your people will meet with my people. We'll write a book together. We'll do something cool. I believe it. Maybe these people are just superhuman. We're like, yeah, I just built a house and stayed there. It's like, what? Unless I misread. Let me look. Yeah, it doesn't. It's kind of weird because it's like, oh, we're gonna meet together. We're gonna go. Maybe this is just the land of his people, so he just settled down. I'll look into it. No, because then he built the house in the Succoth, whatever it's called. But then he continued to go to the city of Shechem. So he just built a house for no reason. Like, what is a house in the standard? Like, how much time does he have to just build a house in the city? I guess rhyming words, going back to chat, I guess rhyming words you can't put a patent on, so whatever, we'll let it slide. I'll still make it worth your while. How about if I make one, I will send you a shirt for free. I think that's cool too. I'll give you a shirt. That's cool. It's a deal. That would be cool. And hats. Man, I think this would be cool. If this somehow just blows up and just becomes this crazy journey, I would totally make t-shirts. I'm a graphic tee guy for sure. Make them high quality. Oof, I love it. Make some hats for my bald head. I need all the sun protection because I'll get sunburnt. Super white, so look like a baked lobster. Not even a good lobster either, just a wrinkly lobster. You have t-shirts? Do you have a merch shop, or you just have t-shirts that you just made just for like your personal wear? Hey, you're a streamer. You could have merch. Maybe I'll look it up. Apart from your book, maybe you buy a t-shirt, you get a free copy of the book, but only digital copy. You gotta make people buy the paper. Oh no. Quick, if it's not too much of a question, where do you go get your t-shirts designed? Because I've looked into like designing hats and stuff, and it was abysmal. It was so difficult. But I'm not an expert at that either. So maybe I just need to get good scrub. Oh, sweet. Awesome. See, so you're in the graphic design space for sure. So you're just talented in that realm. I get that. That's perfect. That's so cool. For your stable, you have horses? I guess there's other animals that could be in a stable, but horse is kind of the tastiest. I guess. I've never eaten horse, but wrestling, I don't know what that is. I'm going to look that up. I've never heard that. That's amazing. That makes sense. That makes sense. I've checked you out. Okay, I was thinking, I thought you owned horses. That's why I was surprised. I thought that was which isn't a weird thing. I was just, nobody owns horses anymore. It's kind of like oh, that's so cool. It's kind of like everybody back in the day had a horse and only the rich people had a car. Now everybody has a car and only the rich people have horses. So I get it. So I would love to see your shirt. I'll check it out. I'll do some lurking around your channel, because you meet new friends. You gotta see all the cool stuff they're into. That's what I think I like about streaming, is that you just random friends with random likes and interests and some similar hobbies. But I love looking at that stuff. You got to support each other, right? You didn't have your own horse. It's so hard to own your own horse. It is. Apart from just the food, like, they're so expensive. And horses are great. They smell great. They're beautiful. Have amazing personalities most of the time. But it's just a lot of work for sure. That's crazy. You had your own horse, but it was owned by the company you work for. I guess it makes sense. That'd just be the horse that you used. So, hopefully all your jobs aren't intertwined, where it's like your job was wrestling horses and you just wrestled horses all day. That's some hard work. That's some hard work for sure. I digress. What a fun time. Chaos, did you just get done streaming? I take it. I would expect. I know, it's kind of, I kind of like that part in the community, is like, you get done with your stream and then go check out all the other streams that are still on and hang out a little bit. Like, that's fun. It's kind of like a little after party kind of thing for you. Oh, you were chilling doing some schoolwork. Well, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate that. Take the time to come chat with me. I know I'm always on so late, so there's not too many people still up and out and about doing all the stuff. So, well, cool. Well, I am going to, I'm going to get back into it. I got to get more of the word read a little bit. But yeah, hang around as much as you like. If you're going to bed, whatever, I'm still here. I'll read a chapter. We'll chat again. We'll continue. Rinse and repeat. Cool. We're almost done. We're making good time. Awesome, Chaos. Well, you have a great night. I'll run into you hopefully this week. If not, it's the next week. My schedule's so wonky, but we'll meet somewhere in the middle, I promise. One of these days. You have my word. The titles of this chapter don't look good, but we're going to go into it. We're going to read it. We got to do it. Read every word. Okay, Genesis chapter 34. Also, just a note, 50 chapters. We just read 26. So, if you're breaking 50 up, it's like 12 and a half chapters every session. So if we did 37, 38, I guess it doesn't really matter. We just stop until we go. So, okay, let's begin. Now Dinah, the daughter of Leah, whom she had borne to Jacob, went out to see the woman of the land. And when Shechem, the son of Hamor the Hivite, the prince of the land, saw her, he seized her and lay with her and humiliated her. And his soul was drawn to Dinah, the daughter of Jacob. He loved the young woman and spoke tenderly to her. So Shechem spoke to his father Hamor, saying, "Get me this girl for my wife." Now Jacob heard that he had defiled his daughter Dinah, but his sons were with his livestock in the field. So Jacob held his peace until they came. And Hamor, the father of Shechem, went out to Jacob to speak with him. The sons of Jacob had come in from the field as soon as they heard of it, and the men were indignant and very angry, because he had done an outrageous thing in Israel by lying with Jacob's daughter, for such a thing must not be done. But Hamor spoke with them, saying, "The soul of my son Shechem longs for your daughter. Please give her to him to be his wife. Make marriages with us. Give your daughters to us, and take our daughters for yourselves. You shall dwell with us, and the land shall be open to you. Dwell and trade in it, and get property in it." Shechem also said to her father and to her brothers, "Let me find favor in your eyes, and whatever you say to me I will give. Ask me for as great a bride price, and gift as you will, and I will give whatever you say to me. Only give me the young woman to be my wife." The sons of Jacob answered Shechem and his father Hamor deceitfully, because he had defiled their sister Dinah. They said to them, "We cannot do this thing, to give our sister to one who is uncircumcised, for that would be a disgrace to us. Only on this condition will we agree with you, that you will become as we are by every male among you being circumcised. Then we will give our daughters to you, and we will take your daughters to ourselves, and we will dwell with you and become one people. But if you will not listen to us and be circumcised, then we will take our daughter, and we will be gone." Their words pleased Hamor and Hamor's son Shechem, and the young man did not delay to do the thing, because he delighted in Jacob's daughter. Now he was the most honored in all of his father's house. So Hamor and his son Shechem came to the gate of their city, and spoke to the men of the city, saying, "These men are at peace with us. Let them dwell in the land and trade in it, and behold, the land is large enough for them. Let us take their daughters as wives, and let us give them our daughters. Only on this condition will the men agree to dwell with us, to become one people. When every male among us is circumcised, as they are circumcised, will not their livestock, their property, and all their beasts be ours? Only let us agree with them, and they will dwell with us." And all who went out of the gate to his city listened to Hamor and his son Shechem, and every male was circumcised, all who went out of the gate of his city. On the third day, when they were sore, two of the sons of Jacob, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's brothers, took their swords and came against the city while it fell secure, and killed all the males. They killed Hamor and his son Shechem with the sword, and took Dinah out of Shechem's house and went away. The sons of Jacob came upon the slain and plundered the city, because they had defiled their sister. They took their flocks and their herds, their donkeys, and whatever was in the city and in the field, all their wealth, all their little ones and their wives, all that was in the houses they captured and plundered. Then Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, "You have brought trouble on me by making me stink to the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanites and the Perizzites. My numbers are few, and if they gather themselves against me and attack me, I shall be destroyed, both I and my household." But they said, "Should he treat our sister like a prostitute?" This is just all big brother energy. Like, once the brothers learned that their sister was hurt, you better watch out. That's some big brother protection. Yeah. And even then, it's like they knew they were going to make enemies, but it doesn't matter. It's like the sanctity of their sister is the most important. They're like, well, I understand it's going to make you enemies, but what are we going to do? Just let her, let them treat her like this? Like, no, they're going to do it. So crazy. How humiliating too for them. Like they humiliated them. It's like, yep, circumcise yourselves. And while they were healing from that, they're like, oh, then we're going to go in and just wipe them all out. It's like, little insult to injury there. Let us go to chapter 35. God said to Jacob, "Arise, go up to Bethel and dwell there. Make an altar there to the God who appeared to you when you fled from your brother Esau." So Jacob said to his household and to all who were with him, "Put away the foreign gods that are among you, and purify yourselves and change your garments. Then let us arise and go up to Bethel, so that I may make there an altar to the God who answers me in the day of my distress, and has been with me wherever I have gone." So they gave to Jacob all the foreign gods that they had, and the rings that were in their ears. Jacob hid them under the terebinth tree that was near Shechem. And as they journeyed, a terror from God fell upon the cities that were around them, so that they did not pursue the sons of Jacob. And Jacob came to Luz, that is Bethel, which is in the land of Canaan, he and all the people who were with him. And there he built an altar and called the place El Bethel, because their God had revealed himself to him when he fled from his brother. And Deborah, Rebekah's nurse, died, and she was buried under an oak below Bethel. And so he called its name Allon Bakuth. God appeared to Jacob again, and when he came from Padam Aram, he blessed him. And God said to him, "Your name is Jacob. No longer shall your name be called Jacob, but Israel shall be your name." So he called his name Israel. And God said to him, "I am God Almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall come from you, and kings shall come from your own body. The land that I gave to Abraham and Isaac I will give to you, and I will give the land to your offspring after you." Then God went up from him in the place where he had spoken with him, and Jacob set up a pillar in the place where he had spoken with him, a pillar of stone. He poured out a drink, offering it on it, and poured oil on it. So Jacob called the name of the place where God had spoken with him Bethel. Then they journeyed from Bethel. When they were still some distance from Ephrath, Rachel went into labor, and she had hard labor. And when her labor was at its hardest, the midwife said to her, "Do not fear, for you have another son." And as her soul was departing, for she was dying, she called his name Ben-Oni, but his father called him Benjamin. So Rachel died, and she was buried on the way to Ephrath, that is, Bethlehem. And Jacob set up a pillar over her tomb. It is the pillar of Rachel's tomb, which is there to this day. Israel journeyed on and pitched his tent beyond the tower of Eder. When Israel lived in that land, Reuben went and lay with Bilhah, his father's concubine, and Israel heard of it. Now the sons of Jacob were 12, the sons of Leah, Reuben, Jacob's firstborn, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun. The sons of Rachel, Joseph and Benjamin. The sons of Bilhah, Rachel's servant, Dan and Naphtali. The sons of Zilpah, Leah's servant, Gad and Asher. These were the sons of Jacob, who were born to him in Paddan Aram. And Jacob came to his father Isaac at Mamre, or Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron, where Abraham and Isaac had sojourned. Now the day of Isaac were 180 years, and Isaac breathed his last, and he died and was gathered to his people, old and full of days, and his sons Esau and Jacob buried him. Is this the verse? Now, I understand that this is a hot button topic, but literally isn't. Do some research, some extra research. 9 through 15 is literally like giving Israel the land, who is Jacob and that family, like their whole family, the lineage of Abraham, basically. Guys, just right there. Well, we'll check it out. Chapter 36, Esau's descendants. Oh, here's a bunch of names in this one. These are the generations of Esau, that is, Edom. Esau took his wives from the Canaanites, Adah, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, Oholibamah, the daughter of Anna, the daughter of Zibeon the Hivite, and Basemath, Ishmael's daughter, the sister of... It's too late for me. It's too late in the day. My brain isn't working, and then I have to read a bunch of names that I can't pronounce. Nebaioth, and Adah bore to Esau Eliphaz. Basemath bore Reuel. Oholibamah bore Jeush, Jalam, and Korah. These are the sons of Esau who were born to him in the land of Canaan. I'm going to take just a little break. Just a little eyeball break. We'll get through this. And I am by no means laughing at the Bible in any fashion, but my ability to read it. Hope everybody's having a great laugh at it. And you should be lucky that you're not in front of the camera reciting it in front of everybody. It's always those times when you're at church and it's like you're reading the passage and it's like, oh man, I have to read all these names in front of the congregation. It's a little unnerving sometimes. A little unnerving sometimes. At least I'm surrounded by some cool people. How about that? Let's see. Then Esau took his wives, his sons, his daughters, and all the members of his household, his livestock, all his beasts, and all his property that he had acquired in the land of Canaan. He went into a land away from his brother Jacob, for their possessions were too great for them to dwell together. The land of the sojournings could not support them because of their livestock. So Esau settled in the hill country of Seir. Esau is Edom. Okay, this points to what I was talking about before. Cool. These are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites, in the hill country of Seir. These are the names of Esau's son: Eliphaz, the son of Ada, the son of the wife of Esau; Reuel, the son of Basemat, the wife of Esau. The sons of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Zepho, Gatam, and Kenaz. Timnah was the concubine of Eliphaz, Esau's son. She bore him Amalek to Eliphaz. These are the sons of Ada, Esau's wife. These are the sons of Reuel, Nahath, Zerah, Shammah, and Mizah. These are the sons of Basemat, Esau's wife. I'm so interested in the Basemat base math, that name. I want to know how it's pronounced. These are the sons of Oholibamah, the daughter of Anna, the daughter of Zibeon, Esau's wife. She bore to Esau Josh, Jalam, and Korah. These are the chiefs of the son of Esau, the sons of Eliphaz, the firstborn of Esau, the chiefs Teman, Omar, Zepho, Kenaz, Korah, Gatam, and Amalek. These are the sons of Reuel. Oh my goodness, I skipped one. These are the chiefs of Eliphaz in the land of Edom. These are the sons of Ada. These are the sons of Reuel, Esau's sons, the chiefs Nahath, Zerah, Shammah, and Mizah. These are the chiefs of Reuel in the land of Edom. These are the sons of Basemat, Esau's wife. These are the sons of Oholibamah, Esau's wife, the chiefs Jeush, Jalam, and Korah. These are the chiefs born of Oholibamah, the daughter of Anna, Esau's wife. These are the sons of Esau, that is Edom, and these are the chiefs. That was the same words over and over and over. Again, great. I think I need to do some research of why they do that. But that was rough for me. You could tell. You heard it. You guys all heard it. Okay, I'm getting too distracted. These are the sons of Seir the Horite, the inhabitants of the land: Lotan, Shobal, Zibeon, Anna, Dishon, Ezer, and Dishan. These are the chiefs of the Horites, the son of Seir in the land of Edom. The sons of Lotan were Hori and Hemem, and Lotan's sister was Timnah. These are the sons of Shobal: Alvan, Anahat, Ebal, Shepho, and Onam. These are the sons of Zibeon: Aya and Anna. This is the Anna who found the hot springs in the wilderness, as he pastured the donkeys of Zibeon his father. These are the children of Anna: Dishon and Oholibamah, the daughter of Anna. This is the son of Dishon: Hemdan, Eshban, Ithran, and Charan. These are the sons of Ezer: Bilhan, Savan, and Akin. These are the sons of Dishon: Uz and Aaron. These are the chiefs of the Horites, the chiefs Lotan, Shobal, Zibeon, Anna, Dishon, Ezer, and Dishan. These are the chiefs of the Horites, chief by chief in the land of Seir. These are the kings who reigned in the land of Edom before any king reigned over the Israelites. Bela, the son of Beor, reigned in Edom, the name of the city being Dinhabah. Bela died, and Jobab, the son of Zerah and Bozrah, reigned in his place. Jobab died, and Husham and the land of the Temanites reigned in his place. Husham died, and Hadad, the son of Bedad, who defeated Midian in the country of Moab, reigned in his place, the name of the city being Avith. Hadad died, and Samlah of Masrekah reigned in his place. Samlah died, and Shaul of Rehoboth on the Euphrates reigned in his place. Shaul died, and Baal-Hanan, the son of Akbor, reigned in his place. Baal-Hanan, the son of Akbor, died, and Hadar reigned in his place, the name of his city being Pal. His wife's name was Mehetabel, the daughter of Matred, daughter of Mezahab. These are the names of the chiefs of Esau, according to their clans and their dwelling places by their names. The chiefs Timnah, Alva, Jetheth, Oholibamah, Elah, Pinon, Kenaz, Teman, Mibzar, Magdiel, and Iram. These are the chiefs of Edom, that is, Esau, the father of Edom, according to their dwelling place in the land of their possession. I think I have to cut it. I don't think I can top that. It was good for a while. Now we'll read about Jacob's dreams. How about that? And then we'll be done with the third quarter of Genesis. Jacob lived in the land of his father's sojournings, in the land of Canaan. These are the generations of Jacob. Actually, let's go back. I think the lineages are so important too, because it's like, let's just say that there are other holy books out there. It's like these lineages can be traced back. Like these are actual names and people. Like this is a catalog of history. It's like I think you have to be pretty, well, we know, kind of intentionally deceptive of just not like just thinking that like these names are made up. Like these are actual lineages that go way back, and the fact that they're recorded in such accuracy and detail. Even we talked about earlier in Genesis when it's like, this is how many people were in this family, like to the exact number. It's not it's about a couple hundred of them. It's like, no, the exact number. It's like, this is a very intensive catalog of peoples. It's just cool. Yeah, the history just cataloged is amazing. And because we know it's Lord breathed, we appreciate the accuracy. It's just really cool. No, there's no excuse to not know that the Bible like is historic. Absolutely. Anyway, let us continue. Joseph, being 17 years old, was pasturing the flock with his brothers. He was a boy with the sons of Bilhah and Zilpah, his father's wives, and Joseph brought a bad report to them to their father. Now Israel loved Joseph more than any of his sons, because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a robe of many colors. Oh, it's this of course. I love seeing everybody knows the story of Joseph from here, 37 onward. Everybody knows Joseph, the coat of many colors. But it's cool. It's just so cool to see all the lineage up, even just to Abraham. It's a lot of people don't know that, which is fun. And he made him a robe of many colors. But when his brothers saw that their father loved him more than all his brothers, they hated him and could not speak peacefully to him. Now Joseph had a dream, and when he told it to his brothers, they hated him even more. He said to them, "Hear this dream that I have dreamed. Behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and behold, my sheaf broke and stood upright. Behold, your sheaves gathered around it and bowed down to my sheaf." His brothers said to him, "Are you indeed to reign over us, or are you intend to rule over us?" So they hated him even more for his dreams and for his words. Then he dreamed another dream and told it to his brothers and said, "Behold, I have dreamed another dream. Behold, the sun, the moon, the 11 stars were bowing down to me." But when he told it to his father and to his brothers, his father rebuked him and said to him, "What is this dream that you have dreamed? Shall I and your mother and your brothers indeed come to bow ourselves to the ground before you?" And his brothers were jealous of him, but his father kept the saying in mind. Foreshadow. Now his brothers went to pasture their father's flock near Shechem. Hey, we know that place. And Israel said to Joseph, Are not your brothers pasturing the flock at Shechem? Come, I will send you to them. And he said to him, Here I am. So he said to him, Go now, see if it is well with your brothers and with the flock, and bring me word. So he sent him from the valley of Hebron, and he came to Shechem. And a man found him wandering in the fields, and the man asked him, What are you seeking? I am seeking my brothers, he said. Tell me, please, where they are pasturing the flock. And the man said, They have gone away, for I have heard them say, Let us go to Dothan. So Joseph went after his brothers and found them at Dothan. They saw him from afar, and before he came near to them, they conspired against him to kill him. They said to one another, "Here comes this dreamer. Come now, let us kill him and throw him into one of the pits. Then we will say that a fierce animal has devoured him, and we will see what will become of his dreams." But when Reuben heard it, he rescued him out of their hands, saying, "Let us not take his life." And Reuben said to them, "Shed no blood, throw him into this pit here in the wilderness. But do not lay a hand on him, that he might rescue him out of their hand to restore him to his father." So when Joseph came to his brothers, they stripped him of his robe, the robe of many colors that he wore, and he took him and threw him into the pit. The pit was empty, there was no water in it. Then he sat down to eat, looked up and saw a caravan of Ishmaelites coming from Gilead. There's Gilead again. And their camels bearing gum, balm, and myrrh, and on their way to carry it down to Egypt. Then Judah said to his brothers, "What profit is it if we kill our brother and conceal his blood? Come, let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brother, our own flesh." And his brothers listened to him. Then Midianite traders passed by, and they drew Joseph up and lifted him out of the pit, and sold him to the Ishmaelites for 20 shekels of silver. They took Joseph to Egypt. That's silver. It's a tricky one. Silver, man. It's crazy. When Reuben returned to the pit and saw that Joseph was not in the pit, he tore his clothes and returned to his brothers and said, "The boy is gone, and where shall I go?" Then they took Joseph's robe and slaughtered a goat and dipped the robe in the blood. And they sent the robe of many colors and brought it to their father and said, "This we have found. Please identify whether it is your son's robe or not." And he identified it and said, "It is my son's robe. A fierce animal has devoured him. Joseph is without doubt torn to pieces." Then Jacob tore his garments and put sackcloth on his loins and mourned for his son many days. Many days. All his sons and all his daughters rose up to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted and said, "No, I shall go down to Sheol with my son, mourning." Thus his father wept for him. Meanwhile the Midianites had sold him in Egypt to Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, the captain of the guard. I think it's important to point out that Jacob was like absolute. Yep, he's gone. He's torn up. He's dead, right? Without doubt, torn to pieces. I think that comes up. We'll put a pin in that because that comes up later. I just think like how people think and how you rationalize things. That one's important. So we'll continue on. Now I just want to keep reading. I love the story of Joseph. It's a great one. It happened at that time that Judah went down from his brothers and turned aside to a certain Adulamite, whose name was Hira. Then Judah saw the daughter of a certain Canaanite, whose name was Shua. He took her and went into her, and she conceived and bore a son. He called his name She conceived again and bore a son, and she called his name Onan. Yet again she bore a son, and she called his name Shelah. Judah was in Chezib when she bore him. And Judah took a wife for his firstborn, and her name was Tamar. But Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord put him to death. Then Judah said to Onan, "Go into your brother's wife and perform the duty of the brother-in-law to her, and raise up offspring for your brother." But Onan knew that the offspring would not be his. So whenever he went into his brother's wife, he would taste the semen on the ground, so as to not give his offspring to his brother. And what he did was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and he put him to death also. Then Judah said to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, "Remain a widow in your father's house, till Shelah, my son, grows up." For he feared that he would die like his brothers. So Tamar went and remained in her father's house. In the course of time, the wife of Judah, Shua's daughter, died. When Judah was comforted, he went up to Timnah to his sheep shearers, he and his friend Hira the Adulamite. And when Tamar was told, "Your father-in-law is going up to Timnah to shear his sheep," she took off her widow's garments and covered herself with a veil, wrapping herself up, and sat at the entrance of Enaim, which is on the road to Timnah, for she saw that Shelah was grown up, and she had not been given to him in marriage. When Judah saw her, he thought she was a prostitute, for she had covered her face. He turned to her at the roadside and said, "Come, let me come in to you." For he did not know that she was his daughter-in-law. She said, "What will you give me that you may come in to me?" He answered, "I will send you a young goat from the flock." And she said, "If you give me a pledge until you send it." He said, "What pledge shall I give you?" He said, "Your signet and your cord and your staff that is in your hand." So he gave them to her and went into her, and she conceived by him. Then she arose and went away. Taking off her veil, she put on the garments of her widowhood. When Judah sent the young goat by his friend the Adullamite to take back the pledge from the woman's hand, he did not find her. And he asked the men of the place, "Where is the cult prostitute who was at Enaim at the roadside?" They said, "No cult prostitute has been here." We returned to Judah and said, "I have not found her." Also the men of the place said, "No cult prostitute has been here." And Judah replied, "Let her keep the things as her own, or we shall be laughed at. You see, I sent this young goat, and you did not find her." About 3 months later, Judah was told, "Tamar, your daughter-in-law, has been immoral. Moreover, she is pregnant by immorality." And Judah said, "Bring her out and let her be burned." As she was being brought out, she sent word to her father-in-law, "By the man to whom these belong, I am pregnant." And she said, "Please identify whose these are, the signet and the cord and the staff." Then Judah identified them and said, "She is more righteous than I, since I did not give her to my son Shelah, and he did not know her again." By the time of her labor came, there were twins in the womb, and when she was in labor, one put out a hand, and the midwife took and tied a scarlet thread on his hand, saying, "This one came out first." But as he drew back his hand, behold, his brother came out. And she said, "What a breach you have made for yourself." Therefore his name was called Perez. Afterwards his brother came out with a scarlet thread on his hand, and his name was called Zerah. Yeah, this is another wild chapter for sure. Wild chapter. Don't understand some of it. Oh, this one's a good one. 39. Okay, 39 is where we're going to end it. Oh, no, let's not. Let's end it here, because this is just such good. There's such good wisdom. Such good wisdom from here on out with Joseph's story. So we're going to leave it. So there we go. Chapter 39 is where we're going to save. And look, we're only 11 chapters till the end of Genesis. So that's great. Look at that. So we'll save those. We'll save those for next Wednesday. The next Swerdsmith Swednesday. And this is good. This is good stuff. Yeah, I guess we'll save Joseph and Potiphar's wife. I won't even look over there. Let's see. Yeah, I've never understood, like, even in 38, like, just prostitution in the Bible anyway. Just like, because, oldest profession, they're going to be in there. It's like how it's okay for Judah to just, there's just literally a prostitute at the road, and like, yeah, I'm gonna be with you, and it's like, that just is strange. Just is strange to me. It does not make sense in our culture. But then they called her a cult prostitute as well. It's like, okay, but then why would Judah choose a cult prostitute? It's just, yeah, interesting, different time. Be interesting to again do a deep dive. I do have my study Bible. Might be really cool, not just with this one, but for just in general to go through. Anyway. I'm excited. I think there's a ton of wisdom for any young man to follow in these next few chapters. But no spoilers. We won't look into it. Cool. We will not. Well, I guess that's it. Everybody go to bed. You have to go to bed, but you can't stay here. Well, I'm not going to leave. I'm here till midnight, so we might play a game while I wait. Obviously, if anybody has any questions, please let her rip. If you also, totally unrelated to the Bible, I still have a, what is it? Try to stump me on a 20 questions challenge. Nobody's even attempted to quash me on. I've also thought about doing some sort of dual reading where it's like we read out of the Old Testament and the New Testament. Might be kind of cool. And then you'll like run into things where it's like, oh, we just read about this in the Old Testament here. And then we're reading it in the New Testament and you kind of tether them together. Okay, so let me say the rules of this 20 questions thing. This is a Pokemon specific 20 questions challenge where that's the only way I'm going to do it. I'll play a game, but it's like I have never been thwarted legitimately on Pokemon 20 questions. So, okay. I've shared this game like streams ago. Nobody's asked about the 20 questions. So the whole point of my Pokemon challenge is you have a Pokemon in mind. I will guess it within 20 questions. And that's it. Well, I know you might have to do some research. That's the whole point. So you either have to have all the information at your fingertips, or you know it, or you just have the like Bulbapedia pulled up. Whatever. I'm still hopeful somebody will challenge me on it. It's kind of fun. It's a fun one. So, well, what was your 20 questions that you had? Is this fuzzy? It was kind of fuzzy. Why was it not? I know, but I never trust ChatGPT. The time that somebody thwarted me was they gave me wrong answer. They gave me wrong information, and so it wasn't legitimate. I'm gonna actually stop the camera real quick. Cool. And so I was like, well, I would have won it if you wouldn't have given me false information, but it's silly. Okay, what 20 questions thing do you have? Is it just you have an item and I'm going to try to guess it? I'm not going to be that good at that. Like, I'm not against it. I do like a good challenge. Just looking. Oh, did we? Oh, we did an ad and nobody said anything. I said I was going to wait and then I just didn't get to do it. So my bad, guys. I let an ad go through. I was going to guess balloon. That would have been my, I guess I don't realize what normal 20 questions is. Is it just like an item or like it's anything? And you have to just deduce if it's person, place, thing, all that good stuff. You don't have to tell me. I was saying what was your game because I didn't understand how it worked. So, whatever. Balloon's a good one. Balloon is a good one. Yeah. Oh. Anyway. Are you anybody up, or not anybody up? Are you playing anything, Voxel? Are you playing any games right now? Doing anything fun? Better not be playing on our Minecraft world. You could be doing that. Not on our world. You can't play on our world. You got to play on your own world. So if I catch you playing on our world. Nice. I know. I was wanting to play on mine too. Maybe that's what we'll do. I want to do that. We're just gonna play on for a little bit. Why not? Just for fun. We'll chat. We'll talk. We'll play some stuff. Exit out of here. Oh, I was gonna say, Voxel. I played on Monday, right? You were there. And then on Tuesday, they released the Copper Golem update. I was trying to make a Copper Golem on Monday, and now they have it. So next Monday, I'll have to, on stream, we'll make a bunch of them. It's going to be great. But then you and I are playing on Friday, correct? Is that still working? I guess that's an update for everybody still listening in, too, is Friday with Sword Friends, Voxel, who is in the chat right now, and I are planning on playing a game together on our own world that we're going to start together. Super fun. Super cool. What am I doing here? So I'm going to do... We're going to do game scene. We're going to change our stuff here. Oh, weird. My game capture wasn't set up. Here we go. Check me out. Let's play some hot dog. Hot dog, hot diggity dog. My game render real quick. It's almost like this is the time like after church. You know, like church is over and you're just like running around, you know, until your parents gather you up and you go home. It's like, yep, we read the Bible, we read a bunch of Genesis, and then it's like, well, play around on Minecraft a little bit, and then you're going to bed. I am okay with that. Okay. I don't want to go too far because there was some stuff I wanted to do on stream because there was something over there. Oh, it was a lava pool. I was gonna get some obsidian, but I'm actually gonna get some water. I need to play a way to get down the mountain really easily. I do not have that. A quick way to go down the mountain without hurting yourself. How about that? Yeah, I was kind of trying to clear out some of this diorite. This is all this cavity here is all diorite. And I'm kind of frustrated about it because now it's like I think that there's multiple caverns or multiple veins of diorite, and it's like I don't want to just leave diorite here. But now this is just going to leave a gaping hole that's like I either have to half fill it back in with cobblestone or stuff's going to spawn down here. Just a little silly. I do like diorite though, so it might be fun to start using it, getting it all polished up on the grinding stone or whatever. Oh, I actually have one lava. I might actually make that into a obsidian, so then I can make that enchantment table. So I just need one. And then I'll go find some more for that the nether portal basically. Found me some iron ingots like that. Yeah, I'm looking to get some maybe cash out on Twitch at some point if I get some funds. Go to my Switch 2 fund because I think I'm going to be able to generate a lot of content from that. Or I want to anyway. Oh, lapis lazuli, easily one of my favorite blocks. Even before it became like the poster child for enchantments, I love lapis. Remember we did a server way back in the day. If you could give me any mossy cobblestone, which was not, you couldn't make it, you couldn't craft it, I would trade anything for a grass block, mossy cobblestone, or lapis lazuli. Those were my three things for trade for sure. How far does this go, man? I'm gonna go through all my pickaxes. That's the worst part. This is the biggest vein of diorite I have ever seen. Mr. Voxel, did you leave? Are you gone? Oh, this is gravel right here. Oh, thank goodness I don't have to mine it. Well, technically you don't have to mine any of this, but I want to. Oh no, my chat's broken. Let's look. Yeah, it did not do any of that. Let me refresh my chat. I was wondering, I was like, did you leave? Just refresh chat. See if you could talk again. Oh, this turned off. Oh, that's frustrating. Sorry, I apologize that I am not here. Pop out chat. I want to start our first time on it's I think it's working now. Yeah, there it goes. It's popped up on the stream now. Silly time. There we go. What is silly time? I want to start our first time on the realm on a stream. Like I am only on here for like 12 minutes. I'd rather start like like, hey, we're starting on stream. You know, like it matters. You know, not like people are gonna have it crazy, but I call it a realm. I know it's a server. I started on personal servers too before realms was a thing, but I get it. I call it a realm. It's just like our own world, our multiplayer world. It's kind of like Kool-Aid, right? You know, it's a sugar powdered beverage, but it's not all Kool-Aid, but that's what everybody calls it. Or Band-Aid. I think we decide that in the moment. That's like the whole point. We decide, we ascertain. I don't want to pre-plan. This is like a spontaneous, like, we check the world. Okay, what are we going to do? Okay, well, I'm going to do this, you know. I don't want to go into it. I'm going to go in as blind as I can. It's going to be fun. Decide what we want to do, where we want to advance, what we're going to do right off the bat. We're going to do it in-game. Just raw and wriggling, you know? Smeagol style. Probably make an enchantment or not enchantment table. We could do a co-stream. I wasn't able to do it last time. Definitely on Discord. I think we just call each other on Discord, and then because that's what I did with Goose Gamer. But we could do a stream together for sure. I think that'd be fun. I just need to figure out how to do it. There was a bunch of plugins and stuff I had to go through. I just wasn't able to do it now. Maybe since a little more. I know a little bit more. I might be able to do it easier. But yeah, we do voice chat. We would do so everybody can see or everybody can hear both of us. Because then if I'm just talking with you and also to chat, then it's like they don't get to hear what you're saying, and then they're lost too. So, and vice versa. I think it's fun if we're both chat and they can hear both of us at the same time. This vein of diorite is very frustrating. Oh, you wouldn't be on the oh, okay, got it. For some reason I thought you were streaming. Yeah, then we'd just be on Discord. Absolutely. Absolutely. I guess ultimately if you didn't want to be on like recorded, that's fine. I guess that would just be up to you, but I think it's more fun with the viewers if we're both on there. They can hear both of us. Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, I could do that so people could watch your camera and my camera. Yeah, I could do something like that. That'd be cool. Cause yeah, that's what I was planning on doing. Like if we did stream together, is like have your webcam. If you do webcam, I don't know if you do webcam or not. But yeah, something similar where it's like, yeah, they can watch what you're doing too. I think that's really cool. I don't know how to do that, but I'll just look it up. cavern's so big that we just have Endermen in here as well. Well, there's all the diorite. Test the streaming? What do you mean? I don't at this moment. I'm fading fast. I'm literally going to get off here in like a second. I'm running on minimal fumes. We might have to do it tomorrow, or obviously do it before. Maybe tomorrow would work the best. I am like barely holding it together, unfortunately. I'm like barely even conscious, like, but my brain knows how to play Minecraft, but that is about it. Oh, here's all the diorite I got from that pot. This is all the diorite I got from that pocket. Literally, was this 9? Like 20 full stacks. 20 full stacks of diorite. That's ridiculous. Cool. Oh man. Oh, they did do it. Yay. Get a whole thing of polished diorite. That's my favorite. Okay, I think that's going to be it. Time for me to hit the hay. Voxel, it's always a pleasure. I will chat with you tomorrow. And if not tomorrow, Friday. And we will begin our journey. Everyone else who joined in, I greatly appreciate you sticking around. Greatly appreciate you hanging out. But yeah, we'll go from there. Hope everybody has a blessed night. Have good rest. I pray that you have good rest, because it's hard to come by sometimes. Okay, everybody, God